is Friday night and I'm getting ready for the open house at Kristen's house tomorrow. I've got everything over here laid out on the table, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm in the middle of baking cookies to take because we're doing like snacks and things, so I'll show you what I'm making. It's out of a bag. You guys know me. So we have some sugar cookies and the last couple batches in here. Whoops, there we go. Those are snickerdoodles. And snickerdoodles, in case you're not around from the US, snickerdoodles are sugar cookies, but instead of sugar, there's cinnamon sugar that they're rolled in. So we will start with Kim's thing. Some of these you saw on the podcast or the video last Wednesday. She has some jumbo-sized coasters. I'll show you one up close. They kind of curl, so they kind of cup your soup bowl or a big mug. And that's what it looks like on the front. And then she has a bunch of these cup cozies. And then these are for like your cast iron skillets. Those are handle covers. So they act like little built-in pot holders for the handles of the cast iron. So we'll start. I have these tote bags. They're like a canvas, and I did make them. They came from a kit. There's 5 of them. And those, I believe I'm going to sell. I haven't put the prices on those, but I'm believing I'm going to sell them for $10 a piece, between $8 and $10 a piece. And then these are a cowl underneath and then a hat that matches. This was that weird yarn that was really hard to do anything with. And here is another one. And I'll show you what my labels look like. They say Katrina's Creations, and then underneath it is one of my business cards. So then we have a bunch of cowls, and they all look pretty much the same, just different colors. And I'm selling these for $12 a piece, with the exception of this one, which is 8, because it's definitely a smaller size. And this one here is a little bit more, it's 15 because it is bigger. If you look at the width, this one is, I believe, 8 wide, and this one was 6. Although when I put them together, they look the same. So why does it look so much bigger? We might be changing the price on this one. Next I have my sets of dishcloths. And then up at the end there is some random dishcloths that don't match anything. And then I have, and those are, the sets are selling three dishcloths for $8, or if you buy them individually, they're $3 a piece. And then we have project bags, and these are going to be $10 a piece, and they are reversible, so you can turn them inside out. There's a pattern in the inside too. And over here, these are my dish scrubbies, and I'm selling them 3 for $2. And then the doggy is not for sale, but the little mat for your doggy to lay on, I have to price yet. I haven't. It'll probably be just a couple dollars. It's just a giant granny square. And then I have some hand spun yarn, and this will probably go for about I'm not sure. I haven't priced it yet. I have to remember what I paid for the wool originally. And this one I know will go for $8 because I remember what I paid for this. And this is hand dyed. I dyed this. And then I have 2 skeins over here that are both hand spun, and they're 100% wool also. So I need to weigh them and try to remember what I paid for the wool itself before I spun it. Then I'm tossing in a couple things that are going to be pre-owned, which maybe sounds tacky, but I made these, I wore them once, and they've been languishing in a drawer for years. So I have this first one, This is knitted, and it is a Noro yarn mixed with something else, and I forget what the other thing it's mixed with, but yeah, it is a Louisa Harding pattern, so it is reversible. And then there is this, which is a cowl, and if you've ever gone to the very front channel page for my YouTube channel, this is the cowl I used for the background shot. It does have little sparklies in copper, you can see there. Which is why I never wore it. It looks pretty, but the copper tends to make me itch. It's scratchy, so I never have worn it. And then this one, I think I've worn once. It is mohair, and I don't remember what the lace is from. So there is that one. So I have to price those yet. I haven't decided yet. So that is what I'm going to be selling and what Kim is selling. And then we'll see. I might get some more footage. It depends on how busy it is, whether I can get more footage of the sale itself, and whether people are comfortable with me doing that. So if I'm able to, I will put some other pictures in. And if my face is red, my face is really red from the oven, from the heat. Anyway, it's not a hot flash, but yeah, from the heat from the oven. And I've been running around and ironing and all that kind of crazy stuff this afternoon. So yeah, stay tuned till the end of this video, because I will tell you how I did at the craft sale and what I made money-wise. Okay, so let's hope I made lots of money. We hope we made lots of money. So yeah, hang tight and I will get right back to you. Here is how I have the whole table set up. I almost needed a bigger table. It is after the open house. It's the same day. I got home just a little bit ago. Now, I dressed for fall for this, and then it was too warm, so I ended up taking this off. But anyway, let me show you real quick what this is. This is a pattern by Janine McCarty, who is the Yarn and You girl, and this pattern is a little shawlette called the Yexa shawl. And I made this, it's a 2-color shawl. I made it in 3 colors when I did it. And yeah, I thought it'd be perfect for a fall open house, and I was sitting outside and it got too warm. So before it even started, this was off and stuck into my purse. But anyway, so as you saw in the pictures, Kristen had her stuff set up in the house and her mother's things set up in the house. And then I was sitting outside next to a lady who was selling like homemade or handmade cups, like thermos type of cups type of thing, like your coffee mugs and stuff. I didn't film hers because most of you guys are here for the crochet and the knit. So that's why I kind of stuck to that. So yeah, so I was outside next to her, which was kind of interesting because a lot of people came around the back of the house to go directly to go see the cup lady, and they had to walk past me to get to the cup lady. So how did I do? Well, there were not that many, there was not as many people there as they said that in past open houses that she'd had. She had a few people who were supposed to bring things to sell and they didn't come. So I still did okay. I sold $58 worth of items. What I sold was 2 of the dishcloth sets, which I was asking $8 for. One lady handed me a $10 bill and said, keep the change. I know how much time it takes to make these. So I was like, well, thank you. And then the other 2 items were total shockers, and they were the things that I made that I had put away. I had made them a while ago, put them in a drawer, and then never ended up really wearing them. So yeah, the one was sold as I told the lady I had worn it once. And she's like, well, I don't care, that's fine. And she, again, I had marked it at $15. It was the green mohair shawl. She bought that for, she handed me a $20 bill and said, keep the difference. So I was like, okay, well, thank you. And then the other was a lady came by and bought the perfect purple scarf that was in there. And yeah, that was a, I know I said it earlier in the video who did it, the pattern. Louise Harding. Yeah. So that was the purple scarf that was the Louise Harding pattern. And it made me really feel good because the lady says, she says, I love purple. And I told her, I said, well, this is actually the yarn that was made from is Lopi yarn, which is an Icelandic wool. So I told her how to wash it and everything. And she says, I think it's the prettiest scarf I've ever seen. I was like, it's going to a good home. Made me feel good because it was like something I made, and be honest, I didn't wear it because I found that the raw wool, it's not soft like merino. It tends to be a little scratchier, and I just found it made me itch. Normally wool doesn't bother me, but this was just crunchier than usual or scratchier. So after I put it on, to test it, I don't remember ever wearing it. So yeah, it sat in the drawer for a couple of years. So it was good to see it go to a good home that somebody was going to enjoy. So that is what I sold at the yard sale, or at the open house, was just 2 dishcloth sets and 2 of the things that I did not expect to sell. So I think I'm going to go back and look through my shawl drawers, because I know I've got some other stuff in there that I made and have never worn. So most of it I do wear, but there are a few things in there that I have made and I have not worn them yet. So I will have to go check that out. So there might be some items added for the next craft fair, which is the one that Kim and I are going to be doing together. I will be filming that one too. So that will be coming up in a couple of weeks because that's on the 16th. So that's Saturday the 16th. So the following Wednesday, that will be the video for that day, which will be, so that will be October 20th will be the the little review of Kim and I at our craft fair together. Now, before we go, I wanted to unbox some yarn really quick. And this is a funny story because you remember, oh, that my bag is squeaking. See if I can make it do that again. That was funny. I don't know. There's a little hole in my bag is squeaking. It sounds like a bleaky balloon. Anyway, okay, it was a tough bag trying to get it open. All right, here goes the funny story. You remember I received from Knit Crate back in June the eggplant color yarn that was really pretty, except there was only 2 skeins of it, and then there was a sale, and so I decided to buy more of the same type of yarn so I could make something more substantial, and then I proceeded to buy the wrong color. Remember we had that little discussion about the B12 not working so well and my memory was really messed up? Yeah, well, anyway, they ran another sale because Knit Crate is in the middle of moving their warehouse from one location to another, so they wanted to move as little of yarn as possible. They ran a really good sale. So I did it right this time. I bought 2 more skeins of the eggplant colored yarn. There, you can see it. And this is Vitalana Oasis. This color is called Phoenix. It's 50% alpaca, 25% Peruvian Highland merino wool, and 25% Surrey alpaca. It's a DK weight and there's 252 yards per skein. So I now have 4 skeins of this, which means I now have 1,008 yards of this. So I can actually make something substantial out of it, and depending on how small I shrink, maybe I could make a sweater. I don't know, maybe at least a 3/4 length armed sweater, we'll see. So I got that, and these, I got them for $6 a skein. So I couldn't turn that one down. And ta-da! I bought 2 of this color too, which was the rust kind of color. It was called Tucson. And there you can see it. And this is the same type of yarn, it's just a different color because initially when I received this in Knit Crate, I could not remember the right color, so I ordered some of this. So now I have 4 skeins of each. And no, they do not go together well. There you can see, one is definitely has purple undertones and one is rust. But now I've got 4 skeins of each, so hopefully, if the lighting is crazy in here today, it's evening and I didn't turn the overhead lights on, so I'm sorry for the lights getting blown out a little bit while I'm doing this. But yeah, I've got 4 skeins of each, so now there's enough to make something substantial out of these. I had stuff to go with this color with not a whole lot of problem. This one, not so much. I looked through all of my stash and it was like, if I had gray that would look good with this or black, it was the wrong weight of yarn. Or the wrong fiber content, because you don't want to mix natural fibers with like acrylics and things like that, because it doesn't always work well when you try to wash it and the tension and shape can get all messed up. So you try to keep like fibers together. So I looked through my whole stash and I had a hard time finding things that went with this particular color because it is so unique. But I liked it because it's got purple in it. So yeah, so now I have enough of each to have a little bit of fun. So, and I'm sitting here looking at this and going, look how nice that looks together. Not that I'm doing anything together with it, but look how nice that would go with fall colors. So that was totally off track. It was just sitting there next to each other and went, ooh, that's pretty. So that is how well I did at the craft fair today. And I will see you again on Saturday. Thanks again for watching. Bye, everybody.